So let's talk about this new space exploration ETF. What was the methodology? What went into the choice for those 39 components that comprise it?
Sure. So the way that we're looking at the space ecosystem broadly is in 4 different categories, really. So you have orbital aerospace and suborbital aerospace. And I think those are pretty familiar to people with rocket launches, satellite constellations, space tourism, potentially hypersonic point-to-point travel down the line. And then 2 other components that are equally important are the key enablers. And so 3D printing is a huge component here. You got energy storage enabling air taxis and drones. You have robotics and deep learning for reusable rockets, and then the beneficiaries as well. And I think that's just as important. Space is already an invisible backbone to our economy, and we think that's only going to become more so as constellations launch.
Yeah, let's dig into that a little bit more. I mean, because we do have 7 SPACs that are focused on space that are poised to merge and see those space startups start trading publicly. I noticed you do have a SPAC in here. That's the Atlas Crest Investment SPAC, which is merging with Archer. So we're talking flying taxis, but you don't have any of those space names. Why not?
Yeah, so we're constantly evaluating all of these companies. And I think with SPACs, it's important to remember a lot of these are almost at the pre-IPO stage. And we do our research. And so we really want to be sure that we're picking the winners long term, particularly in aerospace where, many companies do go bust and things get delayed. So we are really doing everything we can to make sure that all of our investment decisions are backed by research.
Okay, so break this down for me, because I think there were a lot of folks, myself included, that were surprised to see names like, for example, Netflix or Deere or some of the Chinese internet companies in here as well. Yeah,
I'm sure we've all seen the memes going around on Twitter, and some of them are pretty funny.
Yeah, long trip to Mars. You're going to need something to watch.
Exactly, long trip to Mars, tractors on Mars. But the fact that people are dismissing this out of hand is very reassuring to us, and it kind of demonstrates the type of research that we're doing and how we can be uniquely correct and generate some alpha from these things. And so if you look at something like Netflix, that has 200 million paying subscribers. In the US alone, there's over 40 million people who don't have access to broadband. And so if a satellite solution can bring access to those customers and expand the addressable market and the top line for Netflix, then this is something that's very important. And we don't think other people are doing this research. And I would say that kind of highlights the ARC ecosystem in general, where we have analysts who are, working on next generation internet. My partner analyst, Tasha Keeney, very focused on 3D printing. And all of these names are so complex with space, and they're touching on so many different technologies to make it happen, that we can all collaborate and really model these things in a way that most people can't.
So just to wrap all of this up, Sam, we heard those comments at the beginning of this segment from Michael Colglazier over at Virgin Galactic. Space is hard. Timelines tend to slip. I realize ARC does tend to have a much more long-term investing horizon and thesis in general with its different ETFs. How are you approaching it? How are you thinking about it in terms of fruition when we do see some of these major space exploration moments actually happen?
Definitely. So what we're seeing, pretty much the same as our other ETFs. We're looking at this as a long time horizon, and we'll use those temporary moments of volatility to our advantage. And so we really like when that happens, because it gives us the opportunity to really consolidate into our names with the highest conviction. And as you said, with space, there are some huge opportunities. We're not just disrupting some legacy businesses like, satellite radio, satellite TV, and expanding those. We're creating whole new markets. As we mentioned earlier, air taxis. This is a whole new opportunity that could be hundreds of billions of dollars.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.